It's Monday, it's 12:30, it's lunchtime, and here we are again for another Live and Link In with me, Ashley Leeds, the 15-minute guy. Now, hang on a second. I've done over 350 of these shows, and I thought it was about time we changed it up a little bit. Let's do something a little bit different. Hey, what's the best that can happen? And so what we're going to start talking about is visibility and what people are doing to get seen rather than being out the radar and stuff like that. And what better guest to have than the all singing, all dancing, joke telling fractional FD, Ben Westerby. How the devil are you, sir?
Good, thanks, Ashley. How are you?
Was that all right for an intro?
It was fantastic. Love it.
Thank you so much for being a guinea pig. Because you haven't got a clue what we're talking about today and what we're doing, have you?
I've not. It's a bit of I've put a lot of trust in you, Ashley.
That's really yeah, that's a little bit silly actually, because I don't know what's going on either. But I want to talk about visibility. Okay. And I want you to share your journey with everybody so that they can sort of like pick little bits that they can do and get as visible as you. Because look, you're all over the place, mate, aren't you?
I tend to be, yeah, whether it's on LinkedIn or on a golf course or somewhere else. I've all over.
Yeah, fantastic. So that's what we're going to dig into today. But before we do that, tell everybody who you are, what you do, and where you are, because you're in a brilliant part of the world, aren't you?
So I'm Ben Westerby, live in Leeds.
Yay! I even changed my name to match where you live.
I'm a fractional CFO, a business mentor, and I've just recently launched. So I've got my FD Westerby consultancy. So it's actually a live board, it's not a background. And I've just launched a new business called Your Fractional that helps fractional experts in different functions find work and be part of a community.
Fantastic. That is incredible. I'm just going to give Tristan a shout out. He was taking loads of photos last week at an event I was at. So give him a big shout out, and then my photos would be everywhere. So thank you, mate. Yeah, so see, that's visibility as well, isn't it? That is visibility. We first met donkeys years ago, wasn't it? Was that when you just set up your business?
Yeah, so I've been working fractional on an employed base, and then when I went through my business probably about 4 years ago now. I need to start using LinkedIn a bit more, and your name came up, I think, through the SEMA network.
Yes, I did a talk at SEMA. I don't know whether you were at that talk or whether it was just because my name popped up.
I think your name popped up, so I reached out to you and not looked back since.
Oh, fantastic. And you've been a model student. All right. It's just nothing to do with what I've done. You've gone out and you've done what I've suggested you've done. And you've gone a few steps further as well. And I want to get all to that. But what are you excited about in your business today? I want to know a little bit about your business today. So what are you excited about in your business today?
I think the new venture, it launched in January, and it's about helping people that are starting out in that journey, or where I can help them and add value to them, because they're going into an unknown, bit like I was with LinkedIn 4 years ago. They're going, I want to do fractional work, but I'm not quite sure what I do or what I need to know. And it's helping and add value to them. And actually, you just meet and speak to loads of great people.
Yeah, and this is why I do the show, because every single week I have another conversation. So for those of you, for the people that don't know, explain fractional.
So in old money, it's part-time working for a few different businesses, if I'm honest with
you. In old money. I love it.
It doesn't sound as good though, does it?
No, it doesn't. As soon as you say part-time, you think of, I don't know, a youngster still at school, or someone who's retired and wants a bit of pin money. So yeah, fractional sounds proper grown up, doesn't it?
It does. It's definitely come from America. So 4 years ago when I started, everybody were calling it, a lot of people called it portfolio, because you worked with a portfolio of clients, and now it's a fraction because you're spending a fraction of your time with them and they're paying a fraction of the cost of a full-time person. So it makes sense. It's very Marmite. A lot of people don't like it.
But we've got to put something on that tin so that we know what you do. And,
Yes.
and I guess that's where LinkedIn helped you. What does a typical day look like for you, Ben?
Well, so normally get up 6, met my wife for coffee at 6:30.
That's only because you're newly married, mate. Come on.
And then I sort of start my day. So I've got a home office, which is where I am now. I've got an office somewhere else as well. So normally, like once we get a coffee, 6:30, 6:45, just log on, do a bit. Generally post LinkedIn, either got a post scheduled or post on that between like 7:30 and 8. And then depending, very different for days at week. So at the minute, I'm having a lot of calls. So I'll do either daily calls. It could be on site with a client, which tend to be spread around Yorkshire. Occasionally, I play golf, networking events.
I've seen some of your posts on LinkedIn. It looks like you're always playing golf.
Yes, and then maybe a networking event in the evening.
Right. Okay.
So yeah, there is a bit of variety and there's a bit of structure around it. So I tend to be a bit quieter in the first week and the last week of the month, and then the middle of the month, everybody wants to talk to you.
Yeah, no, perfect. And golf. Okay, let's talk about golf, because that is like the best networking, isn't it?
It is, because it takes around 4 hours to play a round of golf, and you typically play in fours. So you've got 3 other people that can't really escape for 4 hours. And you get fresh air, and it's outside. So it works for me, and I've found like-minded people doing it.
Yeah. I was speaking to somebody at a networking event that I was running, and it's sort of like, we've got a networking event. You're more than welcome to come along, and it is that you just go and you all play golf. My handicap is I don't play golf, so that doesn't help. What are you playing off now, Ben?
26 at the minute.
Okay, that's going down. That's going down.
I need to get a bit better. Yeah, it's come
so
down.
Few more networking events. So when I first met you, you said you weren't using LinkedIn very much. What did you look like? How did it feel, before you were doing stuff, the visibility thing? Where were you?
Probably not visible at all. I think I had a profile and I had a picture, which is a start. And I probably told people what I did for a job, but didn't really post, because I'm like, I don't know what to post about. Didn't really know what to do. So like, there's not, well, there probably is loads of handbooks, but I'm just like, I'm not sure what to do. So yeah, very minimal activity and visibility.
Okay, so in a typical week, how many times would you have logged on to LinkedIn back then?
Maybe once or twice, but never posted and very rarely commented.
Yeah, so just they call it lurking. So just going in and having a look, see what's going on. Yeah.
Yeah.
And what about your confidence? Where were you back then?
Low. It's like nobody wants to hear what I've got to say. There's nothing worthwhile posting.
That's funny, isn't it? That's funny, because people watching you now, like, hang on, that's not the Ben Westerby I know. Look, you know this, but in my training, I talk about you, and you know that I've got a new client because you probably get a new connection request, don't you?
Yeah, I get a load of profile views when you're running a course.
That's funny, but you're doing it right. You're doing it right. Now, so many people think that I need to go on LinkedIn and do this, this, and this. And what are you doing, Ben?
I think now I post consistently. I think I post things about, I put a blend of things, a bit about what I'm doing personally, a bit about work, a bit about trying to add value. I tell some jokes on a Friday. And even like this morning, I posted about when I put the wrong link on the webinar. So yeah, share all sorts.
Yeah. All of that is relatable, isn't it? We can all relate to that.
Yeah, and I think that's one thing that I've learned over the years. I think when I started out, it's got to be perfect. Everybody wants this and that, and it's just like people just want honesty and somebody being genuine.
Yeah, I was. I don't know if you listened to Diary of a CEO podcast. He had Daniel Priestley on the other week, and I was listening to that. And Daniel was saying that the week before and the week before that, Stephen Bartlett had big billionaires on, big, well-known, names that have done amazing things, and they had a couple of 100,000 downloads for each of those episodes. And then refer that back to when Daniel Priestley was on, they had 1 million downloads, because Daniel Priestley isn't that big, huge billionaire. He's like us, and we relate to him more. And that's what people want. So you posting that you're playing golf, everyone that plays golf is thinking, oh, he's just like me. Probably everyone who plays sport is thinking, this guy's just like me. Your dad jokes on a Friday are absolute genius, and I want to dig into that and find out where they came from. But again, when I tell people that I've got this slide I do in the training, okay, and it's your face, what have you, and I say, what do you think this fractional guy does on a Friday? He's a finance guy, and it's a Friday, so I'm planting that seed, and hopefully they'd sort of like come back and go, oh, Finance Friday. Like, no, this guy tells a joke. He tells a joke, and then we all know some dad jokes. We've all got a dad, an uncle, someone we know that just cracks these jokes all the time. And it's just so relatable. So how did the jokes get into the thing then, Ben?
I think it was one of the training programs you ran, Ashley, and you mentioned about people using alliteration for posts. So there were tax tips Tuesday. There were different things. I'm like, well, people know much more about tax than me, and it's like, how do I stand out working in finance, and how do I sort of get rid of this stereotype that we're all a bit dull and boring? So like, I know what, I can tell some jokes, so we'll do Friday fun. And originally it started out where I wrote a joke out, and I did it for a few weeks and didn't think out of it, went on holiday, and then I went on holiday on Friday morning, and I used to put them out every Friday at 8 o'clock. And I got a load of messages going, where's your joke this week?
Brilliant.
Like, I'm on holiday. And then I got to a joke that wouldn't work, needed to be spoken because the words didn't do it. It's a play on words, so it didn't work. So then I started recording video. And I think at the same time, people were saying, you need to post video, you need to show you how you need to do that. So I started with video. And then it was like, what have I started here? Because now I've done it and committed to it for a few weeks. Everybody expects it. So it's 8 a.m. every Friday. And I think it's over 3 years now.
That's incredible. That's incredible. And where are all these jokes now? If you put them on your YouTube channel?
No, so I need to get them all together. But people, not recently, but I think in year one especially, people had sent me jokes to tell. Yeah. So I got loads of jokes coming in. So I didn't even have to think of jokes myself. I just had to record them.
Is it a bit of a pain now that if people aren't sending you them, or do you have a long list?
I've got a bit of a list.
Yeah.
So yeah, but what does happen if I don't plan my week properly? Sometimes I'm on a Wednesday and I'm like, oh, I've got a full day planned tomorrow, and I'm out Friday morning, and I've not got a joke ready. So you've got to sort it out.
That starts getting a bit stressful. I've got one for you then. Okay, so my wife wanted me to pass her the lip salve, and accidentally I passed her the glue stick. She hasn't spoken to me since. Sorry, I couldn't help that one. But you're now visible. Yeah, people are now turning around and saying, "Where's the joke?" All right, you said dull and boring. That's a stereotype. People don't see you as dull and boring. What are people seeing you as now, Ben?
I just see me as a person, just like, actually, you tell awful jokes, but it's a conversation starter. And I've been to events before, and people come, oh, they talk to me like they've known me for ages, and a lot of the time I've not even met them. But I think because they see your videos, they're like, sometimes it can be quite worrying though, because they know you and you're like, should I really know these people? When did I meet them? And you're like, oh yeah, I know you from LinkedIn. And some of the times I'm not even connected with them.
No, it's funny, isn't it? I think this is called parasocial interaction. We all know people like David Attenborough. And so you know, we're seeing them all the time. We feel like we know them. So exactly the same as what you're doing. But back then you said your confidence was low. What were you avoiding or overthinking? What was stopping you doing anything?
I think it was just, I've got nothing that anybody would want to read. Or what do you post about?
Okay. And if you know, people are listening to this now thinking, oh my God, that's me. That's me. So what changed, Ben?
I spoke to you. I think you give me a bit of a framework to start with and go and do this, and held me accountable for a week. And then once I had that, I build up habits. But then I think just changing mindset, it's like content's everywhere. I know one of your big things, Ashley, is if you're struggling for content, look at your camera roll on your phone.
Yeah.
And I still do that sometimes now.
Do you find yourself as you're out and about sometimes you're like, oh, I'll quickly take a photo of that, and your wife will go, what are you taking a photo of that for? And you're sort of like, I've got an idea for some content.
Well, yeah, so I know I've probably done that far too often now, because when I'm out with my wife now, she goes, do you want a photo of that for LinkedIn?
That is brilliant. My kids are exactly the same. When I'm out with my daughter with the grandson, she doesn't like photos of his face on social media, but I might be sat with him looking at something, and she'll get a side-on view, and she goes, I've just taken that, Dad, you can use that on LinkedIn. And it's all those little things, because people are interested, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. So, for example, we were at my father-in-law's 70th birthday last night, and it was 70s theme. So I went dressed as Mr. Ben. And there's a LinkedIn post on that.
Goodness, no way. We were talking about Mr. Ben on Friday. Do you know Nikolai Naylor?
Yes, I do know Nikolai.
Yeah, he did a post about Mr. Ben. Apparently, it's going to be a feature film. You're too young to remember Mr. Ben, aren't you?
I've got it on DVD. My kids watched it. I watched it. The bit.
Oh, really? Really? Oh, wow. Okay. Well, I'm glad you know. Yeah. So you were dressed as a bowler hat, or?
Yeah, bowler hat. I didn't go in his fancy dress costumes, just a bowler hat.
Yeah, no, fantastic. Hopefully you put something on underneath, like a black suit or something. Well. Yeah, good man. So what was the first thing you did on LinkedIn or anywhere else that pushed you outside of your comfort zone?
First thing that pushed me outside my comfort zone, probably I think the biggest one for me was video. I think posting photos and text is probably a bit easier.
Yeah.
I think the video, you've nowhere to hide. And I was in the mindset of a lot of other people. It's like, it's got to be perfect. I think there was yourself and a couple of other people I know that's like just post video. So I recorded one, and guess what? It wasn't perfect, but it were done. And then the second one I did were better than the first.
Yeah,
and generally you get better and more comfortable with it. And that's where, bizarrely as well, the Friday jokes have helped me confidence in front of camera. So now I just think about it, and the jokes typically 30 seconds to a minute.
So that webinar you did last week, you must have been absolutely on the ball, because you're so used to talking to the camera.
Talking to the camera, I did well. The link I got wrong, but the talking to the camera, we're fine with.
Hey, we can all make mistakes. It's really not a problem. What would you say to somebody who's, I get a lot of people I speak to, oh, I don't want to put my photo out anywhere, and I don't want to, and definitely not doing video. What would you say? Because you've gone through that. So what would you say to them if they're listening to this right now?
I think from my experience is put yourself out there. If people don't know who you are, it's harder for them to trust you. I think there's an element, especially photos, but video as well. I think you build that trust because you put yourself out there, that people get familiar with your face, they get familiar then with how you speak. And I think it grows that trust. I also think it's a confidence thing. I would say the majority of people on LinkedIn are supportive.
No, I totally agree. You don't get many people trolling you or being nasty on LinkedIn. They want to see you do some great things, don't
Around, you put things out there and like, look, to do, and that's what, yeah, most people are like that. And now and again, you'll get some people that aren't, but it's the minority.
Yeah, and it is the minority. LinkedIn's such a friendly place, isn't it? And maybe we do certain things on other platforms. Oh, why are they like that? And that's the thing. So once you started showing up more consistently, and you're doing your videos, and you're sharing your photos and your stories of your golf, what began to change, Ben?
Well, I ended up, my network grew. I think when I first met you, I was on about 1,500 connections.
Wow.
I'm about 8,500 now.
That's
and good quality connections. I've been invited to talk on shows like this, other podcasts that talk at events. Have a lot of conversations with. It's having those conversations and opening those doors to speak to more people.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. And if you're not visible, how are they going to know what to do? And what's the visibility done for your business, Ben?
Business, well, I'm a big believer in if you speak to enough people, and the right people, things will happen. You don't have to sell. But I've had work from it, and bizarrely, the Friday jokes, people have gone, actually, I quite like that guy. He's just doesn't take himself too serious, and he's somebody I want to speak to. So it starts a conversation, and then you get into it. And I've had work from it.
Hang on. I just want to take a couple of steps back. I'm just trying to compute this. So, you know Samantha Mansfield, don't you?
No.
Oh, you don't? Okay. She's from your neck of the woods, and forgive me if it's not your neck of the woods. I'm down in Devon. Anywhere past Bristol is up north, right? But she did Tax Tip Tuesday. So she did these videos explaining all about tax, and let's just say she did a video about EVs, electric vehicles. Some guy saw that video about electric vehicles and went, "Hey, Samantha, can you give me some advice on that?" And then he became a client. Are you telling me that someone saw your joke and thought, excellent, this comedian is going to be perfect to do my finance?
Yes. They were like, we need to have a chat.
That is incredible. That is incredible. And why do you think that is?
And I think it's because they can relate to you. They're like, you are a proper, they're just like, actually, it's a normal person.
Yeah.
I think especially finance-wise, people probably put a barrier up because they think it's something complicated, and sometimes probably accused of making things more difficult than what they might need to be.
Yeah. But look, as a small business owner myself, when I was trying to find a bookkeeper, I was like, oh, what are they going to say about what I've done? Oh my goodness. And you're not going to say that because you tell these jokes on a Friday, and which is absolutely superb. So your fractional, your find my fractional business. How do we get involved? How does it all work? Because if I'm a fractional marketing lady, can you help me?
Yeah, so we're looking at helping like senior fractional executives, predominantly starting in the north of England, pretty much because that's where I live and that's where I spend my time, and that's where most of my network is. So we've got a website now, findyourfractional.io, where people can register. We've got 40 profiles live on that, and we're just about to pilot a community to help people upskill and answer any questions, and feel, because often it can feel pretty isolated in that area.
So if I'm looking for a part-time marketeer, go to findmyfractional.io, and there'll be certain people on there that could fit the bill. Is that right?
Yeah, that is correct.
Perfect. That is absolutely fantastic. Ben, you've been absolutely amazing. This is a new show, and I've got a little slot at the end called Roast My Post. Okay, and this is and you're going to have to drop the link in the chat or something so I can find it. But what I want to do is look at your post live on the show and give it a bit of a roasting. Is that okay?
That's fine.
All right. So I've created this while you drop that link in the personal chat.
Roast my post, roast my post. Give me the comment ghost. Roast my post, roast my post. We're gonna roast my...
Look at that. So where are we going to look at your post so I can give it a roast, Ben?
Right. Just hang on a minute and I will find one for you.
Maybe we should have done this before we started, eh? And this This just proves it's live, you see. This is the thing.
Yes.
And it could be one that's done really well, and I can tell you how good it was. I don't have to roast it, you know.
Right, I'm going to find one.
That's all right. I'll just get your screen on. I'll just get your screen on.
Pick one at random, Ashley.
No, I don't want to pick one at random. I want you to tell me which one you think is suitable to share. So there's your beautiful platform there. Let's go and have a look at all of your posts. And look, you're getting good comments there, Ben. Let's just share that. There we go. Which one are we going to be looking at then, Ben?
Yes. Yeah, keep going.
Keep going. There's a lot of content there.
Yeah, keep going. Do that one with
Which
the
one?
Fight is Fractional Executive, my cartoon.
Yeah. Okay. You know, this is an article, is it, or is it a newsletter?
Article, yeah.
This is an article. Well done for writing an article. Why did you decide to write an article?
If I'm honest, these turn into a blog that go on my website.
Perfect.
So that's one of the reasons I do them, and also it just mixes my content up a bit.
Yeah, no, absolutely. You know the first thing I'm going to say about that cartoon, don't you?
Yeah, it's a cartoon and not a picture of me.
It should be a picture of Ben Westerby. And why is that, Ben Westerby?
So people can trust me and get familiar with me.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. That's what we want. When a fractional exec is not right for your business, this is genius. This is really good because most people are saying you must have this. And you're saying, no, you don't have to have this. Yeah. Was that intentional?
Yeah. So I think as well, we talked about trust earlier on. I think if all you're doing is ever promoting and saying it's right fit for all, I think you lose credibility. Whereas you've got to say, do you know what? We're not right for everybody. And when's it not right? And bizarrely, I think there are times where people go, what you're saying, I'm not right for you. I'm going to prove to you that I am right for you.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I love that. I love that. This is laid out beautifully. You've given it a lot of space. All right. This is called roast my post. I'm not doing any roasting here. But you've given it a lot of space. So it looks easy to read. You've given me some decent bullet points. Yeah. You want help but can't define the problem. This is really good. This is really good. And then the bottom line, and then you've given it a don't just sit in frustration for another 12 months, hoping it that is brilliant. Now I just want to go back a sec because there's also a post behind that you share first of all. So let's even go and find that one. Help me find it again. There it is. Right. So I talk a lot about the benefits of fractional executive and how they work well for businesses, but what about when they might not be right? And you've only literally just written a little bit in the post. Again, such a good idea because now I've got to go and click that article and go and read that article. Do you know how many article views you've got of that?
I don't. I think they tend to do all right, but they have dropped off quite a bit. Probably about 1,000.
That's brilliant. Could you imagine 1,000 people in your front room, Ben?
No,
exactly. They wouldn't fit. All right. So it's 1,000 people that have actually read that. But the other brilliant thing about doing an article, Ben, is you can save I don't know if you know this, but you should know this. You can save the link to that post, put it in a register somewhere. And then when someone turns around and goes, oh, I'm not sure whether I need a fractional or not, you can just trot that out. All right. The other thing is when you go to the top of your content, it's always there as an article. Or it should be. That should just drop down to articles. And then I can see all the articles that I've written. All right. And then you can find those. So every time you write an article, when you're sharing information to maybe a new person or something, you've got something easy to share with them that looks professional, and it's got, you know, comments and likes on it as well. That's a brilliant post. Literally the only thing I would change is lose the cartoon, make it more Ben. So
you.
yeah, thank you very much for being my first roast my post. That was very brave of you, but look, it's all to try and help everybody create better content and be more visible. Ben, you've been an absolutely fantastic first guest on the Visibility Show. Thank you so much for coming on. Any last words from you to anybody out there?
Thank you for having me on, Ashley, and I'll leave you with a joke.
Oh, fantastic. Thank you.
Not Friday. What's ET short for?
I do know this one. Do you want me to pretend I don't know it so you can give us the...
Yeah.
I don't know. What's ET short for?
Because he's got little legs.
And if that's no good, there's always Friday.
Yeah, there's always next week.
Yeah. Ben, how can people get hold of you?
Find me on LinkedIn. It's probably the easiest way, Ben Westerby. Or yeah, and my contact details are all on there. But yeah, get hold of me through LinkedIn.
Fantastic. Ben, you've been an absolute star. Thank you for watching. We will be back in a couple of weeks' time because we've got a couple of bank holidays. So I will be back very, very soon with a new guest. You take care. Cheerio now. Bye-bye. Thank you so much for watching or listening to my show this week. I want to bring to you people that can help us running our business. I love having a chat. I'm very nosy, very curious, and I'd love to ask questions. So if you want to be a guest or if you've got some ideas for guests, let me know. And if you want me to help you with your LinkedIn, get in touch because I want to give you a voice. Now, that could just be using LinkedIn, but I do other things as well. So I can help you with a podcast, a live show, and all kinds of other amazing things. So get in touch. My name is Ashley Leeds. I'm the 15-minute guy, and you can find me on LinkedIn.